How does the business world work in Ecuador? Discover it now with In Solidum Lawyers. Welcome to a journey through the basics of commercial law. Welcome to In Solidum Lawyers, where legal clarity is our priority. This time, we'll delve into a fascinating realm, commercial law in Ecuador. Here, the flow of business and economic transactions is constant, and commercial law is the compass that guides these waters. Commercial law, also known as business law, is an essential legal branch that regulates commercial activities, contracts, financial transactions, and the foundations of the business world in our country. In this video, we prepare a solid introduction, especially designed for those taking their first steps in this vast field. Join us as we break down the key concepts, relevant regulations, and essential business practices that make up commercial law in Ecuador, from creating commercial contracts to the responsibilities of the parties involved. We will guide you through this intricate legal landscape in an accessible and understandable way. So, if you ever wonder how commercial transactions work in Ecuador, you're in the right place. Our goal is to provide you with the tools and knowledge to understand the foundations of commercial law and how they apply in our context. Let's start this educational journey video now. Commercial law, also known as business law, is a legal discipline that delves into the world of commercial activities and the relationships between businesses, traders, and consumers. In Ecuador, this robust legal framework covers a wide range of matters that are fundamental to economic transactions. Essentially, commercial law sets the rules of the game for commercial activities in our country, from creating commercial contracts to protecting intellectual property. These regulations are crucial to ensure justice and legality in all economic transactions. For example, when two companies want to enter into a contract, whether to sell products or services, commercial law defines how these contracts should be created and executed. It also regulates how businesses should operate in Ecuador, from the company's structure to the responsibilities of the board of directors and the procedures of mergers and acquisitions. Furthermore, commercial law is vital for protecting intellectual property, such as patents, copyrights, and trademarks, which encourage innovation and investment in research and development. In this sense, commercial law establishes the foundations for the transparent and ethical operation of the business world in Ecuador. Through robust regulations and standards, it ensures that parties involved in commercial agreements meet their obligations and that consumers' rights are duly protected. As we delve deeper into this introduction, we'll break down the key areas of commercial law and provide practical examples to illustrate how it applies in the day-to-day business. So, if you ever wonder how these regulations apply in the Ecuadorian context, keep following us in this educational journey. I'll now deep dive into the fundamental principles of commercial law. These principles are like the pillars that support this branch of law and are essential to maintain justice and equity in the Ecuadorian business world. Let's break down some of these principles and understand their importance. First, autonomy of the will. Imagine you're in a marketplace and you have the freedom to decide the terms of a transaction. That's what the autonomy of the will allows in commercial law. Commercial parties can establish the conditions of their agreements freely and voluntarily. This fosters flexibility and adaptation to the specific needs of each agreement. It's like tailoring a custom suit for each transaction, which is essential to meet the ever-changing demands of the business world. Second, good faith. Integrity and honesty are fundamental in all business transactions. Imagine good faith as a firm handshake in the business world. This principle promotes trust and loyalty among the parties involved. In an agreement, both parties must act fairly and honestly, fulfilling their obligations ethically. This is not only beneficial for the parties involved, but also contributes to building a strong regulation in the business world. Third, transparency. Imagine that before signing an agreement, you have access to clear and accurate information about what you're about to do. This is the principle of transparency in action. It ensures that the parties involved have access to complete and accurate information before making significant decisions. This principle protects the rights of consumers and entrepreneurs alike. Transparent information is essential for making informed decisions and ensuring there are no unpleasant surprises along the way. Fourth, efficiency. Can you imagine a market full of obstacles and complications? Efficiency ensures that trade flows smoothly and effectively. In a constantly moving business world, eliminating unnecessary obstacles is essential for effective functioning of markets. Efficiency allows businesses to operate agilely and effectively, which is crucial for competitiveness and growth. These principles work together to provide a solid legal framework that maintains balance and justice in commercial transactions. As we move forward, we'll delve into how they are applied in practical business situations, providing clarity for beginners and those interested in the world of commercial law. So, let's keep exploring this exciting field of law. Now, let's talk about the common types of contracts in commercial law in Ecuador. These contracts are the gears that keep commercial activities running in our country. Imagine them as the key pieces of a puzzle, and here are some of the most common ones. First, sales contracts. These contracts govern transactions over goods and services between buyers and sellers. They are essential for trade and the economy. Think of them as the foundation of exchanging goods, from buying products in a store to more complex agreements between businesses. These contracts ensure that both parties fulfill their obligations. Second, lease contracts. Here come agreements for renting assets such as commercial premises. These contracts ensure the protection of the rights of both lessors and lessees. Lessors can trust that their properties will be adequately cared for, while lessees have a place to conduct their operations. Third, franchise contracts. These contracts allow one party, the franchise, to operate a business using the brand and business model of another, the franchisor. They are common in the expansion of restaurant chains, stores, and other businesses. Franchise contracts establish rules to maintain consistency and quality across all franchise locations. Fourth, distribution contracts. Here we regulate the relationship between manufacturers and distributors. These agreements establish how products will be brought to the market and how relationships with customers will be managed. For example, a distribution contract could define the geographical areas in which a distributor can sell a manufacturer's products and the conditions under which this distribution will take place. Each of these contracts has specific regulations and requirements, and they are essential for commercial transactions. They are like the backbone of the business world, and complying with the fundamental principles we mentioned earlier, such as good faith, transparency, is key. Understanding these contracts is essential for those entering the world of commercial law and businesses in Ecuador. Let's examine how commercial disputes are resolved in Ecuador, a crucial aspect to maintain a fair and reliable business environment. In our country, we have several avenues to address these situations. First, negotiation. In many cases, the involved parties can resolve their difference through direct negotiation. This involves the parties sitting down and discussing the issue to find a mutually acceptable solution. Negotiation can be a quick and effective way to resolve disputes, especially when both parties are willing to reach an agreement. Mediation. In situations where direct negotiation is not effective, mediation can be a valuable option. An impartial mediator assists the parties in communicating and reaching an agreement. Mediation is a voluntary process, meaning both parties must agree to participate. The advantage of mediation is that it provides the parties with an opportunity to collaboratively and efficiently resolve their differences. Third, arbitration. If the parties have previously agreed to resolve disputes Through arbitration, usually set in a contract, an arbitrator will hear the arguments from both parties and issue a binding decision. Arbitration is a less formal process than litigation and is typically faster. It is an effective option when parties seek a quicker and less costly resolution than litigation. For judicial litigation, in serious cases when other methods don't work, commercial disputes can be taken to court. This involves a more formal legal process with lawyers, judges, and legal procedures. A court will rule on the resolution of the dispute. Litigation is the most formal route and may be necessary in complex situations or when other dispute resolution methods are not effective. The choice of the dispute resolution method depends on various factors, such as the nature of the dispute, the involved parties, and contractual clauses. The dispute resolution process is crucial to maintaining justice and stability in Ecuadorian trade. Therefore, whether through negotiation, mediation, arbitration, or litigation, ensuring that commercial law disputes are properly resolved is essential for the smooth functioning of the business world in our country. The key regulations in Ecuador's commercial law are the fabric that shapes and supports the business world in our country. Let me delve into some of these fundamental regulations. The Organic Code of the Social Economy of Knowledge, Creativity, and Innovation. This code is a crucial pillar for fostering innovation and protecting intellectual property. In a world where creativity and innovation are critical assets, this code lays the groundwork for intellectual property, including patents, copyrights, and trademarks. It ensures that creative minds have the confidence that their ideas will be protected, encouraging investment in research and development and promoting a more innovative business environment. The Commercial Code. This code is the entrepreneur's handbook. It regulates virtually every facet of commerce and businesses, from contract formation to the creation and operation of companies, from how to handle bankruptcy situations to the responsibilities of merchants. This code provides the rules of the game. It establishes the procedures for businesses, creation, commercial obligations, and how to resolve commercial disputes. Knowing it is essential for anyone looking to venture into the business world in Ecuador. Consumer Protection Law. This law is a vital safeguard for Ecuadorian consumers. It protects their rights, ensuring that commercial practices are fair and transparent. It demands that companies provide clear and accurate information to consumers, avoiding deceptive practices. Additionally, it establishes procedures for resolving disputes between consumers and companies, ensuring consumers are not at a disadvantage. In a fair and equitable market, consumer trust is essential. Companies law. The creation and operation of companies in Ecuador are rigorously regulated by this law. It dictates how companies should be formed, the responsibilities of the board of directors and shareholders, and how situations like mergers and acquisitions are handled. The company's law is crucial to ensuring that companies operate transparently and in accordance with Ecuadorian laws and regulations. This is essential for maintaining the trust of both investors and the general public. These regulations, along with many others, make up the legal framework that guarantee a fair and equitable business environment in Ecuador. They are the roadmaps that businesses and entrepreneurs must follow to operate successfully and comply with the country's laws. Mastering these regulations is a crucial step for anyone seeking to enter the world of commercial law in Ecuador. The impact of commercial law on daily business practices in Ecuador is undeniable. Here's a deeper look at how it influences. First, contract creation. At the heart of any business transaction is a contract, whether it's a sales agreement, a lease contract, or a franchise agreement. Commercial law provides the guidelines and rules for the formation and execution. This means that any entrepreneur wishing to engage in commercial agreements must have a solid understanding of how contracts work under this branch of the law. Business operations. Commercial laws also regulate the creation and operation of businesses in Ecuador, from the company's structure to the responsibilities of the board of directors and the procedures for mergers and acquisitions. Commercial law guides every step. Therefore, anyone looking to establish or manage a business in Ecuador must have a deep understanding of these regulations. Third, intellectual property protection. In an innovation-driven world, intellectual property is a valuable asset. Commercial law ensures that intellectual property, such as patents, copyrights, and trademarks, are protected. This is crucial for fostering creativity and investment in research and development. Fourth, regulated environment. Commercial law creates a regulated environment that promotes trust and transparency in all business transactions. Companies and consumers rely on commercial laws to protect their rights and interests. This is essential for maintaining the integrity of the Ecuadorian business world. In summary, commercial law is not just a set of regulations. It's an essential part of business life in Ecuador. It affects how businesses are created and operated, how contracts are formed and executed, and how intellectual property rights are protected. It's a legal framework that ensures a fair and equitable business environment, which is crucial for the smooth functioning of the business world in our country. To sum it up, commercial law in Ecuador is a crucial component to maintain fairness and efficiency in the business world. As you venture into this field, you'll discover its influence on all aspects of commercial and economic activity. If you're interested in delving deeper into commercial law or need legal guidance, feel free to get in touch with us at In Solidum Lawyers. We're here to provide assistance and answers to your legal questions. Thank you for joining us in this knowledge journey. We invite you to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for future informative videos. Until next time.